Good evening and welcome to Gustav Making Stuff, where I'm making more The Thing monsters here. So this is the full-fledged weird looking thing that is not a cop-out with just a face. So here, let's get going, shall we? So we're starting here by taking this tape head here, and I'm going to cut this in three slices here, so we can have a triangle here, so we can have something to put the mouth in. I had some completely different thing in mind here, but due to the circumstances of you work with what you have in 1 week before Halloween, well, I used whatever I could find. This is an old mouth I did like many years ago. I don't remember if I did a video on it or not, but it's teeth and latex, so I just have that shoved over so it can come out of the face in an interesting way. See there? This is a black latex mask from a mold you can buy if you're gonna make plaster molds, but I used it to make latex masks instead, and this was not used in a music video several years ago. It ended up not being used. It's the correct phrasing. But you see, so here I'm just piecing together like a bigger mouth coming out of the other mouth thing going on there. So you see you have the black jaw there also that will be painted later on. But you see, and there we have some interesting thing inside the mouth here, because the Thing monsters, they do their thing and become things. And even if this is horribly out of focus here, you see I'm just sculpting with the glue gun here some interesting textures that look like it has been ripped up and a little bit of start to transform. This is Christmas ornaments here, small little balls here I put in as eyes in this mold here. And there we have the other eye, and it's gonna look a little bit strange. Now we put in some craft foam here to make a little bit more of an eyelid here that have a little bit more of a human shape than this. Looks more frighteningly surprised. So here you see I'm taking the glue gun here and making veins. It just happens to be blue glue I have here, but at some point I'm going to use up this. So now I'm just gonna paint this here so it can dry while I'm doing other things. But this is a very this base coat here looks more like foundation, because it was a pretty girl turning into a monster who had lots of makeup on her. So now we're just gonna do the proper painting here, like all other kind of makeup appliance thing here, when you take it in, do some highlights and more shadowing thing, and you look up any makeup appliance tutorials, and you just use paint instead in the same steps here when you have different shades of pink to red to paint on the lips so they will look glossy and fantastic. And also what you can't see there is I actually painting the jaw also, so it looks like it has come loose from the rest of the skin thing here. I'm not going to use too much blood on this, because the blood paint I have, it dries very badly, and also due to this was used on a Halloween party, lots of darkness, and it's messy, so I don't want people to have their clothes being messed up because of my statues of monsters are sticky. Yeah, so anyways, you see I'm just putting some mascara here in black, and also I'm painting on the eyelashes, because of course after I finished this I found a box of fake eyelashes, which also adds so much to these kinds of things. So you see, now here I was gonna paint on some red and pink, and make it looks like it has started to turn into some other organism thing going on here, because the movie is fantastic with its design. Rob Bottin was a master in making this. So anyway, now you see also a little bit of the jaw there, and also of course painting the inside of the mouth there, so if someone wants to look inside and see what it looks like. So yeah, now we're gonna make the legs here, and this is a computer chassis protection thingy for shipping computers. So this is going to be the legs here, because they looks kind of like insecty things in my mind, and you will see what I. So I'm just gonna round them all off here instead of, you know, being squared. So just gonna take very sharp knives and do very long cuts with this, and just, you know, round it off over time. So, and also make a little bit of a more knees there. So now this will be the back feet here of the, gonna be look more like on a bug's foot here. So that's also gonna be rounded off. And fantastic bug legs, because bugs are cool, they have exoskeletons. So now you see here I'm using the big glue gun here. I'm just going to use the small one because this is too hot, so it actually melts the material instead of gluing it together, which, you know, it's not really what I look for. This tape body here, which was used a lot for last year's Mantis Woman, will now be reused for this. So I'm just going to push this in through the arms here. So it will, you know, this is the legs of the thing monster. It now has big spider insect legs thingy. And you see the hole there is where the heart things was also from last year. Look that up. It was a interesting build, I think, to make a robotic Mantis Woman. But now I'm gonna stuff her back end here. So, you know, we can actually attach the legs to that, and also put a plastic rod through the whole thing, so we can actually keep her shape. Now you see there, so it's gonna form that a little bit more like a human form here. So now we're actually gonna place her around there. So you see, this is the plastic rods which goes up to the neck and glues together with the. You can see the inside here. So now I'm putting inside here just some foam here to make a wall around the mouth. And now we have the crotch area here, which I'm trying to look more like an insect mouth, or more like a spider mouth here, so with some spider teeth thingy going on here. So this is just some pipe insulation which I put on there, and I did a little bit more additional sculpting, but so it will get more interestingly shapes when I'm putting on the pantyhoses here. And I'm gonna paint it with latex, so you see it already looks better. And now you see there we have the between the legs part there with the spider fangs. So now I'm just gonna try to glue them all to the body here. It's gonna be covered up with clothes, but you see now I have black latex here, which I'm painting this on here, and it will be fantastic when it dries and actually become black. But you see, in an instant, it actually looks more like, you know, creaturey. It's not super realistic, but as I said, I'm doing this all of this in 1 week, and some of this are going to be posted after Halloween, but you might be using it for next year, or the winter is coming, so we can have the thing party when it's snow outside. You know, for extra immersion. So now, this is the puzzle pieces from the EVA foam, which I have sculpted into more like teeth things with, you know, just cutting it with a scissor a little bit. So now we're gonna put them on here. You see, I painted it red in the bottom there, so you can glue this and not be, you know, breaking my wrists by trying to reach areas that is hard to reach. So there we have painted them white, and we're also gonna put a little bit of pink and a little bit of brown on them, so they will look a little bit more like super white, super model bleached teeth. Yeah, so there we go now with some more pink paint here around the mouth. And now the next layer of sharp teeth. So you have sharp cutting teeth, and then you have a little bit duller grinding teeth, like a cat have in this mouth. So you see there are pointy parts of EVA foam there also. So yeah, now let's gonna glue all of them there, and it will be fantastically nice. And now they're white! That's a fantastic commercial before and after photo. Yes, so now I'm gonna take some white here just to make some highlights of the legs here, so it will look fantastic in the darkness here.
So I'm just using my homemade sponge brush here, which because sponge brushes, they're not very expensive, but I thought like I can do any shape I want with like a scissor and, you know, gluing them to this thing. Maybe I will do a video on how to make that. So now we have this sexy army girl uniform thing going on here. I don't know what it is, but I bought them cheaply this summer on a yard sale. So yeah, it is camouflage, and it has some kind of smaller jacket thingy going on, whatever. And now I'm going to attach this to this board here. I thought it was going to hang from the wall, but it ended up just being on a table, but whatever. It looks fantastic so far. And this turned out to be even more difficult than I imagined, to just put 4 screws into the legs. But there you go! It's very lovely. I hope you like this horrible thing I did here. So, I hope this was inspiring, and if you do something else, send me pictures, please. Well, bye then!